Hi FlossTube, I'm Annie and I am the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode number 53. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome. I'm so glad that you have joined us today. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch, some quilting, life updates, and hopefully give you some inspiration to fully finish your cross stitch and quilting projects. What I've found through my years of cross stitching and through getting together with cross stitching friends and quilting friends is a lot of people do not fully finish their pieces. They will stitch these projects, stack them up in a drawer, and either let them just sit in a box or in a drawer, or send them off to someone to finish, or just not know what to do with them because they have a fear of finishing their pieces. I would like to take that element of fear out of the equation so that you can fully finish your projects and be happy with them and display them in your home or give them as gifts and fully enjoy them. So stick around. I have a lot to go over with you today. I have some life updates to go over. I have a fully finished piece to share with you. I have some questions that I've been getting and I want to answer those for you. And then I also have some giveaways and some haul and some gifts to share with you as well. So let's get started. Many of you know my daughter Gray graduated from high school last weekend, and it was on Sunday, and I usually film on Thursdays. Today I'm coming to you on a Friday. It's just been a very busy week. And yesterday just got away from me, and I did not have the energy by the end of the day to film, and I really wanted to have the energy to go over all these things with you today. So, but today is Friday. But Gray graduated on Sunday, and it was a wonderful weekend of celebrating her. My sister Lisa and brother-in-law Dan came in town last Wednesday. And we just had so much fun all weekend. We had school events that were celebratory. We had family events where we had a little reception for Gray on Saturday, and then Sunday was graduation. Lots of just wonderful times and memories of celebrating her. I will insert some photos at the end of the video if you'd like to see just some family photos from the weekend. But we're so excited. We're so happy for her. She cannot wait to start the next chapter of her life. She's going to school up in Michigan, to a very small liberal arts school in Michigan. It'll be about an 8-hour drive or a direct flight to Detroit. So we will miss her so much, but we know we will see her quite often. So thank you so much for all of your well wishes, best wishes, congratulations, all of those fabulous messages you sent. A lot of you were even going to graduations yourself this past week or this month. So busy time of the year for everybody. But like I said, my sister Lisa came, so that was wonderful. We were able to have some downtime with her as well. So now on to getting my son, Tristan. He is a sophomore in high school, and his last official day of school is today, but next week he has his finals. So Monday through Thursday, every day he has a test. So this weekend and every day next week will be kind of busy around here, just hopefully getting him ready to end the school year on a good note. So Matthew is leaving town tomorrow. He's going to Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I am not traveling with him this time because I'm staying here to make sure that Tristan stays on track with those finals. So I was really hoping I was going to get to go this time because I love going to Stitcher's Paradise in Las Vegas, but this time I can't go. Maybe next year. But anyway, so that's all of my life updates. I hope you all had a great weekend and got some good stitching time in. I did not get to stitch as much as I wanted to, but I did get some stitching time in. So I don't want to delay this any further because I know a lot of you have been wanting to see how I finished Queen of the Needle. You may remember that I have been stitching Queen of the Needle by Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread, and it was my Tomato Tuesday stitch. So this is Queen of the Needle, and I've been stitching her for a while just because I had stopped and took a very long break. But on Tuesdays, I like to try to stitch a sewing tomato themed cross stitch piece. And I use the hashtag on Instagram and on Facebook, hashtag Tomato Tuesday. So this is the piece that I was working on. and I just enjoyed stitching it. This will be one of my giveaways today, so stick around if you are interested in entering to win my copy of Queen of the Needle. So here's my finish. So I showed y'all last week the finished stitched piece, but I just did not have time to fully finish the object. And so what an FFO is, for those of you who are new, an FFO stands for fully finished object. So now I have an FFO of Queen of the Needle. So what I'm going to do is show you what I did, just show you the box, and then I'll go through it bit by bit. So here is my box, Queen of the Needle, and I love this so much. I actually already put some stuff in the box, so let me take those out so I can share it with you. Okay, so here is the outside of the box. Let me come in a little closer. Here's the outside of the box, and I will talk all about it in just a second. And then my favorite part, the inside of the box, I did this. So let me come in a little closer. And let me show it to you this way. So cute. So my friend Dawn said that this is what is known as a treasure box. You put your treasures inside of here. And I have had this wooden box for about 3 years, and I never knew what I wanted to do with it. It's a beautiful primitive style box. And I got this at a retreat a few years ago, and I'm glad I held on to it. Some people gave theirs away or just put them aside, and I'm so glad that I finally have a purpose for it. So I've made a treasure box out of this. So what I did is, just to recap, I stitched Queen of the Needle on 32 count purled barley, and I used all the called for colors, and I stitched 2 strands of floss over 2 threads. So here she is in all her glory in her beautiful blue dress, and that blue is Weeks Dye Works Jaybird, which I think is my favorite color blue. It is so pretty, and that variegation is wonderful. Okay, so what I did is I measured the top of this box and cut my sticky board to fit inside of it. So I cut 3 pieces of sticky board. So I have 1 piece of sticky board for the outside, the background, have 1 piece of sticky board for the middle piece, and then a sticky board piece for my cross-stitched piece. I used the fabric by Three Sisters, which is Cranberries and Cream. I got this fat quarter bundle from Country Sampler when I was there in Wisconsin in December. You can also get it on Fat Quarter Shop, or you can call Country Sampler. So all the reds I used inside the box and outside are from that Fat Quarter bundle. So I cut my sticky board, and I mounted or did a layer of quilting batting between each layer of sticky board and fabric, because I want that cushion. I always like to have a little bit of a cushion. So I did a layer. This one has little stars. The middle layer is a nice cream with these pretty little red twigs. I had this vintage trim that I got at a retreat several years ago, and I just wanted a little piece of feminine touch to go all the way around it. And then my cross stitch piece, I did the same. I did iron interfacing on the back of my cross stitch piece. So when I have on my sticky board, I have my quilting batting, then I wrap my cross stitch piece around it. And on this, I did use the Eileen's tacky glue on the trim and on my cross stitch piece. I sometimes use hot glue, but this one I wanted to use the Eileen's glue. I did use hot glue for these 2 pieces. So this is the outside of the box. And just so you can see all the way around. So the outside of my box. And then inside, I was going to just leave it bare. And I thought, you know what? The inside needs to be just as special as the outside. So here's the inside. I used that same fabric with the cream, with the red twigs. I took an old vintage tomato and hot glued it on top. I also did the batting behind each piece. I took a hot glue. I took a vintage tomato that I had in my stash, and I hot glued it down, and I glued the strawberry so it stays in place. And I will use this to put my pins in. I will keep my Pat Carson pins in here. I had this vintage thimble I glued here, and then I just didn't know what I wanted to do in the middle. So I found a JBW Designs, her latest elegant alphabet, and I'll show it to you in just a minute. I just stitched the letter A from that alphabet, and I stitched it in the same chili pepper red as the red on the front. So that's my initial A, and I had just put a needle in there. And then at the bottom, I did the same. I just took a piece of sticky board, put a quilting batting behind it, and wrapped it with the fabric and put a layer in there. What I'm going to do with this box is I'm going to put my special scissors in it. I have my special scissors I'm going to keep in here, and I'm going to keep my needles. So this will definitely be a box that I will use for sewing supplies, for cross stitching supplies, so all of those wonderful things. So this is something that I am so excited to finally have a sweet finish on, something that I can treasure. This is a treasure box, and so I'm so excited to have this done. And I'm just really happy with how it turned out. So if you have a box, or if a box that you can either paint yourself, you can buy an unfinished paint, an unpainted box at Hobby Lobby or anywhere like that, or you can even find these primitive boxes on Etsy and online, and just finishing something sweet and special like this would make a great gift. This would make a great addition to your collection as well. But you know, for a while I even thought, oh, I'll stitch something and put this in my living room. But then I thought, well, what would the box be used for if I had it in our family room? So this just makes so much sense to me to make this treasure box be for my sewing supplies or my accessories for cross stitching. So here she is, Queen of the Needle. I love her so much. She will go by my stitching chair. So thank you all so much for your excitement and wanting to see how I finished it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me about you know, how I finished it. I was going to do a tutorial, but the time just got away from me. But I will be happy to answer any of those questions that you may have. So one last time, Queen of the Needle. So I'm so excited to finally share that with y'all and to finally have a finish. I haven't had a finish in a long time. But Queen of the Needle will be one of the giveaways today, so stick around for that. I have had a lot of questions from you all about what kind of hoop that I use. And I use a lot of different styles of hoops, just like with a lot of things I do. I do a lot of different styles of patterns. I like a lot of different types of fabric. I use everything from 14 count to 36 count to 40 count. I mean, I do so many different types of things. The same is true with my hoops and Q-snaps. So what I thought I would do is show you what I use. So this question came from, who asked this question? Oh, no, I didn't write down who asked this question, sorry. But I had one specific person this past week ask, and a lot of you have asked in the weeks past. So here are my hoops that I use. This is one type of hoop that I use, and I use it in different sizes and different shapes. This is just one that I had handy that I could pull out. I have it in a round one as too, a round hoop as well. This is a hand-stained beech wood hoop, and it has a clear lacquer finish. This was a gift. This set was a gift to me from my good friend Kay and Kim. You can get these from Hoop and Frame and from the Fat Quarter Shop. I will link it below. But what you do with these, they come just as a wooden hoop, and then bias tape you wrap around to protect the wood and to protect your cross stitch pieces. But these are a good size And they come in different sizes, but they have them in ovals, they have them in rectangular, they have them in squares, circles. But it's a good size so you don't have to move your hoop as much, and it does not leave a ring around your piece, especially with this bias tape. It just gives it a little bit more protection. They're a little bit pricey, but they're very good quality. So I will link those sites below, but this has the little logo at the bottom. You see that? But these are beechwood, and it is hand stained and very nice hoops. I also like to use this hoop. This is a one-touch wooden embroidery hoop. It is a Japanese bamboo, Japanese cypress, excuse me, but it is from a company called Cosmo. And let me show you this inside. I don't know if you can see that logo inside, Cosmo. And I like these because it also is very gentle on your linen, and it stays in place. I don't have to tighten a screw. I just pop it on and go. This is my favorite hoop. I originally got this hoop from Brenda Gervais' website, which is Country Stitches Online. I have checked, she is out of them, but you can find them on Etsy, on Amazon, Fat Quarter Shop, Cosmo, C-O-S-M-O. I'm going to link all of this below, but this is the 5-inch hoop. It comes in 4 inches and 5 inches. I have the 5-inch, and I will include that link, but I just really like this a lot because I don't have to tighten a screw. It's easy to move if you have to move it around often on your piece. It just doesn't take any time, and then you can just easily tighten your fabric around it. By far my favorite hoop. And then I've also used these little spring hoops that you can get from Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. These little spring form hoops. These are great when you're stitching on something like Aida, something thicker, or like a flax linen, because those are thicker, stiffer fabrics. So this works very well with those. I have these in 2 different sizes. I don't use these as often, but these are really good hoops to have. Very affordable. You can get them at so many different places. Very easy to get your hands on these. And then I also use Q-snaps. So Q-snaps are something I started using fairly recently, and the reason why is a lot of people were talking about them and suggesting that I give them a try. And when I was at Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City, Tennessee for a meet and greet a couple of months ago, I decided that would be a good time to try it. So I bought a couple of Q-snaps. So I have 2 different sizes. Here's the biggest one that I have. And these are nice because you can take them apart very easily. So if I have it in a square and I have another size, I can take it apart and use the pieces from the smaller size and make a rectangular piece. So very easy to use these. This is for bigger projects. This is for something that you probably don't need to move the linen around as often because you're focusing on something for a longer period of time. It's very gentle on your linen. Here's one that I still have in the Q-snap. This is from my floral motif sampler that I'm working on. So I like how I can wrap the linen around the Q-snap. I can tighten it easily. It doesn't hurt my wrist. I can hold it while I stitch, and it really opens up those holes. So a Q-snap, all very different mechanisms for stitching, right? And you know, we have hoops, we have spring form hoops, we have hoops that you have to screw and tighten. We have Q-snaps. There are so many options available. Some people use a floor hoop, like a stand hoop. Just a lot of choices available. And just like with anything, do what works for you, do what is comfortable to you. For me, it just depends on the linen I'm using, the fabric I'm using, and the size of the piece that I am stitching. That will determine or dictate what hoop I am or device I'm going to use for that project. So hopefully that clears that up about hoops. And some people like to stitch in hand. I have tried stitching in hand, and I can definitely see how it is faster for some people, but for me it slows me down. I haven't tried it on linen. I've only tried it on even weave and on Lugana, I think. I think those are the two that I've tried it on. But it's just something I have not been able to figure out. I prefer a hoop. So hopefully that answers all of that. I have another question. Lisa asked, what is the pattern with the bird in the frame by the doll? Lisa, I'm assuming you're asking about this piece. I had my Raggedy Ann doll up here earlier, or last week, and this is Summertide Blessings, and it is a piece I stitched last summer. Summertide Blessings is from Plum Street Samplers. So it's super cute. It is one of my favorite patriotic pieces. I have not found my patriotic decorations. They are in storage somewhere. Matt is going to storage today, and I asked him to please look for my patriotic decor because I'd like to put some of it out. So, but that is Plum Street Samplers Summertide Blessings. And then Carolyn emailed me a question, and she asked from my Blackbird Designs book, or my Blackbird Cardinal that I stitched from Blackbird Designs, 'Tis the Season. She's having trouble finding that. Carolyn, 'Tis the Season is a pattern from Home for the Holidays book. And I'm going to link that below for you. But Home for the Holidays is a Blackbird Designs booklet with a lot of different cross-stitch designs in it. 'Tis the Season with the red cardinal is in that booklet. So all of that is in that Home for the Holidays book. She also asked what linen I used on that. I used the Valor Picture This Plus linen, and that gave that beautiful green modeling for it. So I hope that helps, Carolyn. If you all have any questions, don't hesitate to either link it below or ask it below in the comment section, or email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. So those are all the questions. I have had several of you email me asking about or saying that you haven't received your giveaway from me. I am finally caught up on all of my mailing. I went to the post office this week, and it was so funny because the guy in the post office who I go to all the time, when I would mail giveaways, he would say, "Where have you been? I haven't seen you in a while." And he recognized me from before because I always go in with a big stack, and he even subscribes to the channel because we were talking about YouTube, and he has other people who mail things and go in there who are YouTubers, different things. He said he has one family, it's mother and her children, and they cook, and he just says it's so funny how there are all these different types of YouTube channels. So anyway, I went this week and I mailed over 50 items. So please do not worry, it is coming. And I do appreciate your patience, and I am so sorry it has taken me so long. And now I'm all caught up. Huge weight lifted off. I feel so much better. I'm so glad to have all of that out. So thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so now let's go into my haul and my gifts. I have received some haul and some gifts this week. Sorry I keep playing with my hair. I haven't had a haircut in a while, and it's long overdue. I just haven't had time, and so it's really bothering me. And anyway, so I apologize. I know that can be frustrating. So, okay, some haul and gifts. I received some beautiful gifts in the mail this week. And one I am going to definitely put on display. But this is from Joanna Lynn. And Joanna writes in her little card, let me get my glasses. She says, "Thank you so much for your FlossTube channel. You inspire me so much, especially with the tomato pieces you have done. I'm going to do Queen of the Needle next. I'm waiting for the Keeper of the Pens booklet in the mail." Ooh, I think I'm going to start that one next. Keeper of the Pens. It's also Brenda Gervais. "So glad you got settled in your new home. Hugs from across the West Coast, Joanna." So this is what Joanna made for me, and I am so proud of this. Joanna, you did a beautiful job. So Joanna stitched me this little pillow, and look at how sweet this is. Little spool of thread, and look how she did her thread, and then that tomato, these buttons, this key pin, this beautiful soft chenille or trim, and then on the back she put 2022 charm. Joanna, thank you so much. This was so sweet and so nice of you to think of me. And I cannot wait to put this in my cabinet behind us with my other pieces. So thank you, Joanna from Canada. She says she's also still plugging along on her Quaker Christmas. Well, Joanna, I hope to pull that out this weekend. So that was from Joanna. And then I got from Johnson City, Cross Stitch and Crafts is my closest needlework store that I go to. It is called Cross Stitch and Crafts. I'll link their Facebook page and their website below. But I called last week to order some floss and she had a booklet for me. So I called this week to order some floss. We are hoping to have a meet and greet. Stay tuned for details. I had a meet and greet at their shop a couple of months ago, and we're hoping to do it again this summer. So stay tuned for that information. But here, I purchased this Plum Street Sampler Spring Moon design from Fox and Rabbit. So Plum Street Designs, or Plum Street Samplers, made this exclusive chart for Fox and Rabbit. And I love all the blues. I just loved everything about this. So I only ordered the pattern from Fox and Rabbit. And so I called Johnson City, the store in Johnson City, Cross Stitch and Crafts, and got the floss to go with it. So I got all of that in the mail this week. So here is the floss that I got. 1 second. I also got some others. But the floss looks like it's going to be beautiful. Oh wait, the red doesn't go in there. Oh, and by the way, I'm sure y'all can hear Bella snoring. The way the space is with the opening into my living room, I can hear her downstairs. She is just having a really good nap. So here are a lot of the colors. I love the blues. They were out of a few colors, but I think I have them in my stash. So I'm going to spend this weekend trying to decide what linen I want to stitch this on, and I'll get this kitted up and ready to go. But this is Spring Moon. You can order it from Fox and Rabbit's website. Spring Moon from Plum Street Samplers. Also from Cross Stitch and Crafts, I ordered the new Teresa Kogut Broad Stripes and Bright Stars booklet. I love this booklet, and I love how Teresa Kogut is putting her seasonal pieces in one booklet. But I really love this, and this is so sweet. So many great designs in here. I just love all the color pages. Let me see if there's a picture I can show you. Yeah, here's one photo. Such a nice quality book. I can't wait to go through this and figure out which patriotic piece I want to stitch next. Hang on, let me look for one other design I wanted to share with you. Teresa Kogut is so talented. Look at this on this red linen. Isn't that beautiful? You can just change the look of something by changing the color of the linen. So I am excited about that booklet. Thank you, Amy and Sandra from Cross Stitch and Crafts, and stay tuned for when I'm going to be able to go up there for our meet and greet. Okay, so from Tammy Blaylock, she is a friend of mine who has a bag making business online. Her website is called Creative Country Girl, and she sent me some bags for gifts for me and for giveaways. So thank you, Tammy. I have shown her bags before, but let me show you her new spring summer bags that she has. So this is one of her smaller bags. And this is with the Blackbird Design fabric. And Tammy does such a beautiful job with her bags. And she leaves these little tags on the outside so you can put right on here or put a note in here of what's inside this bag. So it's like a luggage tag. I love these tags on here. She also does beautiful little charms and always does a little beautiful trim. Her fabrics are beautiful. So this is one bag she sent. This one will be a giveaway today. And then for me, this beautiful bag, I love the blues and the reds. Absolutely adorable. Look at this trim. And just nice quality bags. And then my favorite one, absolute favorite, is the big bag. Look at these flowers and that feminine trim. Tammy, thank you so much. You've hit it out of the park as usual. Oh, and one other thing that she does is she puts inside her bags these hooks so you can attach your floss ring so you're not digging around looking for it, or even your scissors if you want to hang something there. So smart, so creative. Tammy, thank you so much. I will link her website below. And another gift I received today is from another bag maker. And this one is from Alicia, and she has Upper Meadow Design Company Etsy shop. Here's her card, and I will link it below. She sent a couple of bags as well. Hers are in this direction. I always get them mixed up. I think this is vertical, horizontal. So if you like bags that open this way, this is how she makes hers. This is a beautiful, beautiful bag. And this beautiful mint green bag. So much detail on hers. So beautiful. I love her fabric choices. Very nicely made. I will link her Etsy shop below as well. She also sent some floss keeps for me to add to our giveaways. So those are our gifts and our haul for the week. So this bag will also be a giveaway today, and the floss drops. So let's go into our giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, last week I asked you all to share with me your summer plans, and I heard from so many of you. Lots of staycations, which I love staycations. That actually sounds really good to me right now, to stay home, stitch, get caught up on things around the house, just enjoy being at home. So a lot of you have some pretty exciting trips planned, and a lot of milestone events, from weddings to grandchildren being born to graduations, all kinds of fun and exciting things. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. Let's jump right in and announce the giveaway winners for last week. Okay, try to keep all this organized for you. Oh, let's do giveaways. Then I'm going to the giveaways from last week. Then I'm going to show you my WIPs because I forgot to do that. Can you tell I'm out of practice? Still out of practice. Okay, so let's do our giveaways, and then I'm going to share with you my WIPs. Okay. So last week, number 1 was Country Cottage Needleworks Summer. This goes to Judith Avery. Number 2 is French Country Amour from JBW Designs. This goes to Christy Dennis. Number 3 was JBW Designs French Country Ghost. This goes to Pixie Girl Studio. Number 4 was Plum Street Samplers Henpeck, my copy that has notes in it that it looks like Matthew used it for something. I'll have to cross through some of them. Beverly Ingram. Number 5 from the Fat Quarter Shop is Cut Press Sew. This goes to Kim Rohrbach, Rohrbach. Number 6 is also from the Fat Quarter Shop. This wonderful project bag in Misty Green. This goes to Valerie Smith. Okay. Number 7 is the Stitch Etc. $25 gift certificate. Stitch Etc. is the company that I like to use their wooden boards. I will link that below as well. But Stitch Etc. $25 gift certificate is Roberta Van Horn. Roberta, when you email me, I will reply and I'll copy Kim and Ashley on that email so y'all can get your conversation started on what items you would like to order. And number 8 from the 805 Stitcher, this beautiful project bag and needle minder. Thank you, Tara, so much for sending these bags. Number 8, this goes to Rhonda Snow. Rhonda Snow. So if everyone could please email me, tell me your name, what item you won, and your address. I will get these in the mail to you as soon as possible. I ask that everybody get in touch with me within 2 weeks of any video where I announce the winner. If I don't hear from you in 2 weeks, then I'll put those items back into the giveaway rotation. So that was last week's giveaways. Let's go into my whips. I'm so sorry I forgot to share those with y'all. I think my table, it's kind of off center in the room and off center with this. It's kind of throwing me off. I have things way over here. I'm not sitting at the center of my table like I used to do in my old sewing room. Still getting used to my space. Still thankful that I have a space, but still getting used to my space. So I started some whips last week that I was so excited to share with you, and I want to show you my progress. I did not get to stitch it all over the weekend because of graduation, but I have been stitching a little bit this week. So this is Artful Offerings Seaside Sparrow. Oh, he's such a cute bird. And it's so funny, my friend Amy said that I need to name him Pierre. So here's Pierre. Look at his hat. Okay, so this is Seaside Sparrow. And here's my progress. I finished the border. I was working on the inside stars. And then I started the top stars and his hat. And he has the outline of his eye and beak. Seaside Sparrow, Artful Offerings. He is adorable. I love, love, love this. And it seems like it's going to be a pretty quick stitch. I'm using all the called for colors with the exception. We discussed this last week. I have substituted Cadet, which is this green. I have substituted Cadet, which Cadet would have been used for his hat, for his pants. So it's for his hat, his pants, and these inner stars, or X's. Well, I decided I wanted him to be more red, white, and blue. So I substituted Cadet for Twilight, Weeks Dye Works Twilight. And I'm so glad that I did. So this is my substitution. I am stitching Pierre on 36 count latte by Fiber on a Whim. I love Fiber on a Whim, my new favorite linen to stitch on. So nice, and the modeling on this is perfect. So this is 36 count. So because it's 36 count, I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2. When I do 32 count and below, or 32 count, 28 count, 14 count, I use 2 strands of floss over 2. Because this is 36 count, I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2. So super happy with how he turned out. I love his hat. And Amy, thank you so much. He really is a Pierre. So that is going to be his name, Pierre. And my other whip that I started just the other day, I did not get very far, but I told y'all I was going to get started on it, is JBW Design. JBW Design Summer in the Round. I love Judy's round series. This one is summer. I want to do her bird one next. But I thought since I'm doing Pierre, I would do the summer and around. And I love how in her booklet, she also shows you other ways of finishing or stitching this. But this is stitched in sort of a seafoam green as well, a misty green, and I wanted it to be red, white, and blue, so I changed the color. I am stitching this on a 32 count antique white linen, and the blue I decided to go with is Wavy Navy. And I think I dropped Wavy Navy on the floor. Wavy Navy is a Classic Colorworks design, Classic Colorworks floss. Let me do this. So here's my progress. I start in the middle on these, And so this is how far I've gotten. That's my thread that I've left hanging in the back. You can see it's like a cute little beach house or a little cottage, and I think that's a little bird. So if you look inside, she's such a genius, Judy Whitman is, when she does this. Look, there's a little umbrella, there's an anchor, a little beach pail, and a sailboat, and a seagull. I just love when you stitch these rounds. You don't know what the motif is when you're looking at the pattern, and then it just comes to life as you're stitching it. It's so much fun. It's like a little surprise after each little motif. But this, I wanted it red, white, and blue. So it's on a white linen, antique white linen, 32 count Zweigart. And I'm using Wavy Navy, which is just a navy blue, Classic Color Works. And I'll probably finish this on a round wooden paddle from Stitch Etc. So it'll keep that red, white, and blue theme going. I think it's gonna be so cute. I cannot wait to get this one going. But when I ordered this week from Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City, I called Amy and I said, I wanna stitch JBW Designs an elegant alphabet. So this is an elegant alphabet. And this is one of Judy's new releases this year. And I saw it at market and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's just so feminine. I love how all the birds and the love letters, everything in there is just elegant. I mean, it is just elegant. And so I wanted to stitch this, and I did not have the color. The color floss that she recommends is it's a strawberry color, and it's called Tropical Sunset from Romy's Creation. Well, it's very pink, and I didn't want it to be this pink. So Amy sent me a couple of colors to play around with, and I will probably stitch this on a cream or even perhaps this antique white. So for purposes of this to show you, she sent me some options. So she sent me, I just said, Amy, I trust your judgment. Send me colors that you think might work. And then I'm going to also look through my stash and see if I have any silk or anything that is that pinkish red, but not too hot pink. So she sent me Classic Color Works, used bricks. She sent me Schoolhouse Red, which might be too dark. I think I wanted a little bit more feminine. And then Weeks Dye Works in Aztec Red. And I think this is the one I'm going with, this Aztec Red. It's very similar to what Judy used, but it's not as hot pink. So stay tuned. I will probably start this one this weekend. But this is the A that I stitched for inside my box. So just so you know, that is the letter A I used to stitch. So I have a little bit of Judy Whitman in my treasure box. So thank you, Judy. Love this design, love Judy's designs. Can't wait to start this one. But this is an elegant alphabet, new this season, that she released at market. So stay tuned for that. So those are my whips. I hope to get more stitching done this weekend. I probably will, because it's going to be a quiet weekend here with Tristan having to study for finals. Matthew won't be here. Gray and I will be able to binge watch some of our girl shows, and maybe I can stitch and she can do her thing. So, all right, let's get into this week's giveaways. I want to ask you all to answer this question for me. Okay, so here's how the giveaways work. First of all, be a subscriber, like the video, answer the question I'm about to ask you below, and then tell me the number that you would like to be entered to win. Number one, number two, number three. You don't have to use the number sign, but just 1, 2, 3, and so on. You can enter to win all of them. You can enter to win even if you've won in the past. I do ship internationally. Right now, I'm having to put the Australian winners on hold. So if you've won from me and you're from Australia, I have to wait to mail yours. Right now, Australia has some restrictions on what is coming into the country, and the shipping is really expensive. So I still want you to enter if you are in Australia. I just will have to hold off on sending it to you until those regulations are lifted. So I hope that makes sense. So I do ship wherever the United States Postal Service ships. So please, everybody, enter to win. Okay, let me get this organized for just a second. So that is how you enter to win. And I just love doing this. I love sharing these things with you all. I feel like it's something that brings me joy, and I just love sharing cross stitch with you. But I would like to know, how old were you when you started cross stitching? How old were you? Who taught you? Just those kinds of memories. I learned from my grandmother. I was about 10 years old, and she taught me how to cross stitch on a kit we got from Walmart, and it was a Christmas ornament, and that was in 1984. So that is, oh, I just shared my age with you, didn't I? That is how old I was when I started stitching, and I love it. It brings me peace. It brings me comfort. My friend Kim and I have said that our word of the year is peace. Anytime we feel stressed, anytime we feel like things are getting overwhelming or we're getting upset about something, I just remember to bring it, just peace. Peace is my word this year. So cross stitch is one of those things that brings me peace. So how old were you when you started cross stitching? That's what I want to know. Okay, here we go. Number 1. So here we go. Number 1, Queen of the Needle, my copy, no notes, very good condition. I didn't write on it. I must share this with y'all. I am not a perfectionist, and I use my patterns as a working copy. I don't make working copies unless it is a big piece and I need to kind of shrink it down. But the way I see it, these are my patterns. I'm going to write on it. I'm going to make notes on it. It's just, I have no shame in admitting that. That is who I am. I do not feel like that I need to protect and value this. Now, my Blackbird books, I probably am a little bit different about those, but I try hard not to write on my patterns, but I also don't keep from writing on my patterns. Does that make sense? Anyway, but this particular pattern, I did not write on. So, Queen of the Needle, number 1. Number 2 is from Fat Quarter Shop. This is a quilt pattern. This is the Amarilla quilt pattern. So pretty. I love their quilt patterns. This is from It's So Emma. It's designed by Crystal Stahl. Amarilla. Number 3 is also from the Fat Quarter Shop, and this is a pink project bag. These are great project bags. This is, the color is called Peony. That's number 3. Number 4 is from my friend Bonnie from the Nebby Needle. This is her design, Bonnie Woomer. Number 4, this is called God Shed His Grace. And this is perfect for patriotic stitching, of course, but with 4th of July coming up. Number 4. Number 5 is from Tammy Blaylock with Country Cottage Girl, Creative Country Girl. This project bag, number 5. Thank you, Tammy. And number 6 is also a project bag. This one is from Alicia, and I just want to make sure I have her company name right. Alicia with Upper Meadow Design Company. Upper Meadow Design Company. Number 6, the floss rings and this adorable project bag. That's number 6. So those are our giveaways this week. As I mentioned, like the video, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you get notifications of when I upload new videos, and ask me questions if you have questions. I really appreciate your patience as I get back into the swing of things. I still feel like I'm getting used to my space. I'm getting back into the groove. But I am so glad to be back, and I am so glad and thankful for your patience. I am going to insert some photos at the end here in a second of Gray's graduation if you're interested in seeing those. And thanks again for all that you do and for all the joy that you bring me, and I hope that you all get some great stitching time in this weekend. Until then, thank you and have a good day.